All right, so let's check this out real quick.
They're bigots, and they're not at all aligned with the Hollywood view. One of the reasons we want them is because they're incredibly cheap and they're incredibly profitable. Those movies make money. They make a lot of money. Whatever we make are pushing diversity people. Those are our loss leaders. You're saying that the reason you acquired a Christian streaming service is because you can take the profits from the Christian movies and redistribute that to cover your losses on like homosexual, LGBT, that sort of thing. Right, exactly. Undermine the bigots with their own money. We can use their money and make content that they secretly watch behind closed doors and don't tell the pastor and call. No, not only can we use the profits from the Christians to cover our losses, pushing ideas like LGBT and trans inclusiveness and diversity. But we can also start to slowly change their movies to be more accepting of
Okay, so
you have to explain that.
Grain of salt. This could just be an ad for this app. I think called Loom or Luke or something. And so they put this video out saying they got insider information. What's weird about it is it's two people talking. It's the same guy with the beard wearing two different shirts. So unless this is two different conversations they cut together, it's kind of strange. So this could be completely fake. But the idea kind of goes with our first topic of Sound of Freedom. The idea is that major companies like Lionsgate and all these kind of things will buy up Christian media companies like film companies because they know that the Christian audience really supports their movies, right? And they'll be profitable. They'll use the profits to go and make the movies that where they push things that we don't agree with. They lose money on those movies, but they use the Christian movies' profits to make up for it. Yeah. Is that true? Is this a live video or is that true?
It's hard to think about, right? Because it's based off what's going on with the Sound of Freedom. These Christian studios, they kind of control things. You know, Sound of Freedom was an independent movie. All the money doesn't flow through Hollywood, you know. So the question is, do they, like, we know some people at a very popular studio that helped with Chosen, right? And probably helped with this movie, most likely. They did. So we know we can ask. The question is, like, don't y'all have y'all's own funnel of money that you get to keep and no one can touch, really, right? Because it seems like it's all in-house.
No, if they're owned by a bigger studio, it's not just their money.
Who says they're owned by a bigger studio?
I'm not saying they are, but the ones that are.
I mean, if they are, then it's no different from Capitol Music Group doing the same thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take the proceeds from NF and put it toward another artist and, you know, whatever. I mean, now, when we talk about it like that, is that so wrong? Because, you know, Trackstarz, we do that too. We take revenue from one product and we use it to push another. So is that wrong?
So I just want to, if Crispy's there, just do a poll. Is this video legit, right? Because it looks super sketch, super set up, right? But the what they're trying to sell you is that somebody snuck and record this, right? Because people are asking who would record themselves like that. It's somebody, you know, sneaking it, not like
you can't even. I mean, you can't even say that that's true because, you know, if you snuck and record, if you did sneak and record them, then once it comes out, they can just do a cease and desist and get that off, right?
Yeah, but you can't see the person's face, so if somebody does that, they're outing themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
But still, it doesn't make sense. Like, the quality of that is awful, right? So if you're going to try to push that to hundreds of thousands of people to get them to be convinced, it's not that convincing.
Well, the more awful it is, the better it is, because if it's a hidden video, you would assume that it wouldn't be good. Right?
I like the 60-minute joints where they get the black silhouette over their face.
Well, this is not somebody confessing.
Yeah,
this is somebody talking to their friend.
Yeah, you're trying to catch him in the act. Lost and Found said any profitable movie is used to cover the losses of failed movies. That's very real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So here's the only reason why I'm like, even if this is fake, there is there's some stuff that you guys may not know about Christian movies. Now, I'm not saying how I know this. You were there. Not everybody who works at Christian production studios, not even just works, are over.
Yeah.
Christian production studios are Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I don't know if this is outing them, but there's an executive we met at a major Christian studio who used to work at Playboy.
Dang.
He came right from Playboy over to this thing.
Yeah, that's not outing anybody because I can't even remember his name.
Okay, good. That's good. So when we were talking to him, we were like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And it wasn't like, oh, I got saved. And then it was like, no, they needed somebody who had experience and such and such. So I was like, ooh, okay. All right. So I would just say this, just be cautious, praise God, Christian movies are being made and such and such, but don't start praising these people,
They could be,
you never know what's going on. Same thing for the music industry. You know that. Gospel industry, praise God, some awesome songs can come out of it. But some of these people are wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just wild.
That's
so just
true.
always guard your heart. Anytime you see yourself like being like, oh, man, these people are so awesome, such and such, praise God instead, because nobody is deserving of any of that.
Yeah.
Right? It was just shocking to me. It was shocking to me to hear this person, cussing and da-da-da and talking about all those stuff. And it's like, I'm the person who decides what gets on da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And that's not conspiracy. I was there. I talked to him.
I've heard that too
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
Where
I'm not
people,
making this up.
Where people be owners of a label, a Christian label, and they're not saved, and they dictating what music comes out and what's the right single to push to gospel radio or Christian radio and stuff like that.
Yeah. At some point, it becomes just about business, and then the people involved don't even have to be Christians because they're just looking at numbers and trying to make numbers go up and instead of down.
Yeah.
So.
But then we can also see it done the right way. You and I are part of a radio launch for Christian radio that became the #1 radio station for Christian or for gospel in the country. And we were sitting in the room when the first playlist was put out and was told, do we want to go this direction? Do we want to go this direction? And you had legit Christians deciding what direction that went.
But that's rare though.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it
it's-
happens. I mean,
yeah.
but we just gave one testament of something that we knew of. This is another fact that we know of.
Yeah. So I don't want anybody to go too far in different extremes. It doesn't mean everybody is like that, but everybody's not all legit either.
Yeah.
Even if you enjoy the end result
that's
and you
true.
approve of the end result of what they do, it doesn't mean that the people involved are all like-minded Christians.
Now, there was one thing that he did mention that was definitely bothering me, where he said, if we continue to put out content that they watch, that they don't tell their pastors they watch, we slowly change their minds and make them accepting of the things that are.
So that's why this is so interesting, because even if it's not true, it's true, right?
Yeah, it is true.
that part is happening where they're trying to slowly get things that you would consider more Christian content to slowly introduce things to be like, perfect example, your show.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What is the name of that? A Manifest.
Oh, okay. I thought
What you think?
the other
What
one.
are you talking about?
I thought you were talking about the other one I told you I've been watching.
What's the other one?
The sketch, isn't that the sketch? What's it called? Monologue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Modern Family.
Oh, nobody thinks that's Christian.
No, I thought you said Christian.
Christian.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
Manifest. Let's go back to Manifest. Manifest is set up
You
like
gonna give it away though? You haven't seen it.
Manifest is set up like a Christian TV show. Jerry knows what I'm talking about. If you didn't know better, you would think this is made by Christians, a Christian show, Christian themes. It is not. It is not. And things like that can be confusing for Christians because you're like invested in it, and then they start introducing things that are like, wait a minute. Why are we cool with that?
Why would you trust television anyway?
It's like the mainstream version of The Rapture. What was it, Left Behind?
Yeah.
What was it called? The one, was it with Tom Hanks? Who was in that one?
What?
The one where
Left Behind, right?
No,
Cameron?
No, that's Kirk Cameron's version. I'm talking about the one that mainstream did, where folks disappeared, the flight.
Oh, you talking about
Correct.
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Thank you.
Oh, Knowing. We saw that in the movie.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
no.
good.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front.
But what I'm saying is like they had all parts of the rapture wrong,
Of course, yeah, it was completely fake. But Toshisms said Manifest is junk, but it's also my junk. And that's how I felt about it too. It's like, this is trash, but hey, I need to find a way out.
So, the thing is this, though. The thing is this. Yeah, there's some points where you're like, this is going in a good direction. Oh, this is going in a bad direction. Oh, this is getting back to a better direction. Oh, this is going in another bad direction. So it's kind of like one of those things.
Well, that's the whole point. Prophet said, why do you think it was Christian? There were enough. I mean, right from the beginning, the whole theme was Romans. All things work together, right?
Yeah.
It was printed on a pillow, and that was
that's
what kind of got you.
The issue is this.
That's how they caught you.
They introduced a Christian family.
Yeah.
Right? The grandmother.
Yeah.
So basically, it kind of like made the non-believing children kind of more like,
But if
this
you
is
don't
what Mom
think,
talked about.
But if you don't think that's on purpose, you're nuts. The whole thing is laced with Christian-y things.
It is.
To get Christians to get excited about it.
This God is dope.
Yeah.
You ready to talk about that? But yeah, so yeah.
We've already said that on the show before about God.
We ain't did the whole topic on it though.
We have.
No, we have not.
Yeah, we have.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
The theme of today is not everything
Don't
that
judge a
says
book
is Christian. Not everything that says is Christian is Christian.
That's real.
But you know what?
You read into that.
But the thing is this, though. Like, I don't really call anything Christian unless it is made by Christians and promoted that way. Now, I'll give you an example of something I got sucked into. What is it called, man? God friended me. Was that what it was?
I never even because I knew you were wrong about that.
No, I wasn't wrong though.
You were wrong.
I wasn't entirely wrong.
Okay.
I wasn't entirely wrong.
What was God friend to me?
It was a TV show that didn't make it.
What was it about?
It was about God giving people signs of who they needed to help through Facebook requests.
Got you.
So basically, essentially Manifest.
It's
the same exact premise.
But it didn't go crazy though. It didn't go crazy like Manifest.
Was it on
Manifest
CBS?
Didn't go crazy either, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Was it on CBS?
CBS, yeah.
Okay. CBS normally have those type of angel God.
Well, all I'm saying is the reason why it even feels vaguely familiar is because they know they can get you.
Yeah, because of what they were doing,
They can
pretty
get
much.
you.
Their premise was we work miracles
Oh wow.
for God.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
But then all you gotta do is weave in a couple things. They're like, why are they? It's not. It's not what Jesus would do.
Two men walking down the street together.
Yeah. So it's like then you're like, well, I'm so into it now. Maybe it's okay. And you start loving the characters, and you're like, well, it can't be so
This
bad.
was definitely different. I mean, it was on CBS. It was nothing to really like pick apart.
But they got you.
You should watch it.
Why would I watch
it? Only
it?
made it one season, or 2 seasons maybe.
No, thank
but
you.
Just watch it. Yeah, I challenge you to watch it.
So anyway, whether this is true or not,
I knew that.
and here's the question. I don't know if the poll went up. Is Hollywood using your faith against you?
Of course.
By taking your money that you invest in Christian stuff, using it to feed you stuff to change your mind on what you believe.
Absolutely. That's definitely happening. And we're making it
Is it true?
very easy for them.
Yeah.
We pretty much volunteer that.
All right, here's a question.
We volunteer that.
Here's a question for y'all. Back in the day, let's say 80s, 90s, do you think there were more Christian executives back then pushing Jesus, but pushing biblical principles? Do you think that was more? Like, you think about the shows, it was always...
Somebody said touched by an angel.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about shows in general, not just like quote-unquote Christian shows. I'm talking about shows where it had a moral compass to them.
Highway to heaven.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Do you think Christians was running things back then? Or were
well, if you put your finger in the wind... You know, back then it was, conservatism and nuclear family and all that kind of stuff was more mainstream. So if you put your finger in the wind, you got to make stuff to appeal to that audience.
Yeah.
Right? It's just smart.
Yeah.
Now that culture has changed a lot from there, you put your finger in the wind, now you got to make some other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't want to lose that conservative audience, so you start blending it.
Let me
I think
ask you
that's what
something.
we're seeing more.
Was Seventh Heaven impactful for Christians in like that era? Because it felt like Seventh Heaven was the first television show that dealt with, not so much drama, that dealt with real issues that people of the church face in their families. And
Seventh Heaven.
so on.
What was Seventh Heaven about?
Remember Seventh Heaven?
I'm looking at
I
you.
thought it was a family. Wasn't that a family
Yeah, it was
show?
a family, but the father was a pastor, and they had
I
five
vaguely,
kids.
I remember the name, but I never saw
something came out about him, almost like on some Cosby type stuff.
Okay, but that was the actor in real life. I'm talking about.
I mean, if we're gonna say that, then we can say things about Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show.
I don't think the Cosby Show was Christian.
So okay, here's the thank you for watching. Here's the results of the poll. The question was, is this video legit? 57% of y'all said no, it's not real. 30% said it could be real, and 11 definitely real. So that's my sense, is that this video is propaganda promotion for this app, which I'm not even gonna say the name of now. But I do think it brings up something that we all kind of feel internally. So I think that's why it's working. That's why they made it, because you kind of feel it. You know what I mean? That this is true. And I will say, I believe it is. I believe it. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah.